channel, and today we've got a surprising live stream for you. We don't normally go live on a Monday. We normally video the Max Monday event and then post it up later tonight, but I thought we'd do it a little bit different and we'll go for a live video just because I know we haven't gone live during the Powerful Potential event, so we'll get into that event as well. It is the last day of that event, so we'll talk a little bit about what's happened during this event, and also, of course, Max Monday, Dynamax Drillbur, and we're going to be talking about why that is crucial that you try and do some Dynamax Drillbur this week. So we're going to be talking all about that in the next sort of half an hour, 45 minutes, and then of course Dynamax Drillbur will start appearing on those Max Mondays. So first of all, let's go ahead and stick our daily adventure incense on, and we are going to use a lucky egg and roar of time for this first half an hour, and let's get that extended for a little bit longer with roar of time. So there we should just have around about an hour's worth of lucky egg now, which should see us over the Dynamax Drillburs as well. So first incense spawn is unfortunately a coughing, so let's just catch some of the spawns around here. Now, hey buddy, how are you? Thanks very much for dropping in. Hitting the excellent throws quite nice on these. Now unfortunately the spawns haven't really changed much for the Powerful Potential event. It is a little bit disappointing, that is. It's mainly an event surrounded by, of course, the release of Cub Fruit. We've all had the free special research where you could get a Dynamax Cub Fruit from it. 727 was a CP to try and look out for your Dynamax Cub Fruit. That was a Hundo CP. Unfortunately, I only managed to get a 701. So it was a 3-star, but not a very good one at all. So, and you cannot trade it, you cannot transfer it, and you cannot evolve it. So Urshifu has not yet been released to the game, but there is part of that research which is yet to be completed. So if you've got to stage 3, you'll see that it comes up with a message saying Professor Willow is currently performing an investigation and he'll be back soon. So we will hopefully get more research in the next couple of days or weeks, and that will hopefully mean that we'll be able to evolve that Cub Fruit. So if you're sat on a very, very good Cub Fruit from the special research, or in fact, if you paid the £8 or the equivalent currency to get a second Cub Fruit encounter, and that one was good for you, then you should hopefully be able to evolve one, if not both of them, very soon. So, hey Danzo, how are you, brother? Hope you had a great time yesterday. Community day for Coco. 13 shinies, including one with a background. That is very, very good. Yesterday was the Gigantamax battles that I focused on more so. And then, of course, Saturday was for Coco. But for Coco, I managed to get 31 shinies, I believe, with Shiny for Coco Community Day. I racked up around about 2.2 million XP, which was decent going for a Community Day where there was no XP bonus. So that was quite a decent amount of XP. But yeah, 31 shinies, none of them with a background, and only managed to get 2 that were actually 3-star, and those were pretty disappointing 3-stars. So it was a shame that I didn't manage to get one with the background, but we did manage to get some normal ones with a background, so at least we managed to get a family of those. So I think we might end up 6 with a background, I believe, but none of them shiny, unfortunately. But very, very good, nice going if you manage to get a shiny with a background. I do much prefer the background this season. The Might and Mastery season, of course, started at the start of March, which meant we had a new background for our Community Day events. And it is a rather nice background, to be fair. If we head over and have a look, you can see there, very, very nice. Sort of black and blue with that rip down the middle. It's a really, really nice one. Yeah, 31 shinies. It is something that I quite like to keep track of XP, of course. Hunting XP as I am. I got all three. No way. That is absolutely insane odds. To get all three shiny Gigantamax first time around. That is crazy. Hundo Kubfu as well. That is insane. Your luck has been crazy recently. Go put a lottery ticket on. That is crazy. So yeah, my Kubfu was terrible. Only just a 3-star, I would say. Yeah, in terms of Gigantamax, we did, in my community yesterday, we did around about 22 of them. Unfortunately, 2 of mine ran away. Both of those were Charizard. But I did end up with 8 Charizard, 8 Venusaur, and I believe around about 6 Blastoise, 7 Blastoise over the course of a whole weekend. So that was decent going. Managed to get 1 shiny Venusaur, 1 shiny Blastoise, no shiny Charizard. We did have a Blastoise from the first time around as well. Now let's try and focus on these catches. Shuppet is not a nice one to try and do an excellent throw by any means of a stretch of your imagination. Yeah, so I've got a Discord. You'll probably find me if you try and search Danzo Biggins on Discord. You'll be able to find me probably on there, depending on how the search works. But yeah, our community is all on Discord, so I do use that a lot more often myself. It's just a lot more easy to use Discord, I always find. Yeah, see if you can check for it. If not, I'll have to try and find out how you can find me on there. So yeah, these wild spawns during the powerful potential event aren't very good really. They're not very exciting to try and catch. The event is mainly just around about that Kubfu release and of course Charcadet being released shiny in eggs. Now Charcadet is available in all stages of eggs. That's all eggs from stops, that is. So 2, 5 and 10 it can all be in. And depending on what stage of egg you get is the more or less likely chance of getting Charcadet. So if you get a 2-kilometer egg, for instance, there's about 7 or 8 different Pokemon that can be in that as well as Charcadet. Whereas if you get a 10k egg, there's only around about 4 other Pokemon other than Charcadet. So your chance of getting Charcadet out of the 10ks is supposedly a lot more higher than the lower Ks. Hey Ruthless, thanks so much for joining. Hope you're okay. Now, while we've got a lucky egg on, we have got a couple of friendships going, not anything special, but we've got a couple that go over onto greats. So we'll just open those up and send some gifts back. And we will just check to see midnight here. Oh wow, thanks very much for dropping in if it's midnight. Do very much appreciate it. It is always nice to see regulars join my channel, so I do really much appreciate everybody who's commenting now. I know you three are very much regulars to the channel, so I very much appreciate you all being here. Now let's just catch all the spawns around here before we move on. Try and get these excellent throws while we've got a lucky egg. So there is a couple of power spots I've already got Drillbur on. And Drillbur is of course going to be featured on the Max Monday, which starts in around about 15 minutes time, 17 minutes to be precise. And it is really, really crucial that you try and get some Dynamax Drillbur, because at the weekend, the release of Dynamax Raikou. So Dynamax Raikou will be making its Pokémon GO debut, and for that, the best counter by far is Excadrill. So my team for Dynamax Raikou, brilliant, thank you very much. I'll check in a moment. I have just had a friend request come up on the top, so I'm guessing that's you. So thanks very much for sending that through. I'll accept that after the stream. So Dynamax Raikou at the weekend is going to be featured both Saturday and Sunday. And of course, the best counter is Dynamax Excadrill. Dynamax Excadrill, of course, being the evolution of Drillbur, which is featured on tonight's Max Monday. And it will be on Dynamax Power Spots throughout the week as well, so you can hopefully get a hold of a few of those. Now, if you haven't already noticed as well, there is also a special research which has been pushed just after midnight last night. We had it arrive in-game, and if you head over to your special tab, I believe it is, or events tab, should I say, scroll down and you'll be able to see the Dynamax Raikou Max Battle Weekend Time Research. So here, if you carry out all these, which you should be able to do quite easily throughout the week, then you'll be able to get loads of max particles, up to 1400 max particles. So loads of particles on offer. My advice would be is to complete these at any possibility that you can do throughout this week, but do not claim them until you are just about to do some Dynamax Raikous at the weekend, because if you claim them before, then you won't be able to fill up on your free max particles the day after, and you'll have to use them instead. So make sure to only claim them. You have 6 days to claim them, meaning that you can claim them right up until the night time of Sunday. So claim them only when you're about to start doing Dynamax Raikous. Level the max move 3 times. Yeah, it's not a very nice one, but with Dynamax Drillbur being 250 max particles, I can hopefully do 4 of those for free today, and then tomorrow's free particles I can use maxing up a move again with Wednesday's particles, again with Thursday's particles, and then by Friday I can save Friday's particles ready to do Dynamax Raikou on Saturday and Sunday. And then, of course, I've already completed all the stages of the quest as well by then as well. So hopefully that plan works. But that's the plan I've got in my head. We have a Jangamo and our storage is full. Let's just bin these quickly. Jangamo off the insets? No! We want the Jangamo. No shiny. All that for no shiny. I did wonder whether it was just going to disappear then and that was going to be the shiny. Still yet to have a shiny Jangamo. But I'm not too worried about Jangamo. Of course, it was last year's Dragon type, which was featured on the Go Fest, which always means that it will have a community day in June the following year. So June community day this year should very well much be, if a pattern follows, it should be Jangamo. So Jangamo should have a community day in June this year. And with Friggybacks being featured on Pokemon Go Fest this year, that means that should have a community day June next year. So definitely should be doing those. Hundo Jangamo, that is a very nice Hundo to get. I don't know if I managed to get a Hundo Jangamo. I'll have to check my storage in just a moment. Let's do that now and see if we have. Jangamo. And no, the best I've managed to get is a... No, unfortunately not. The best I've managed to get is a 98. So you're definitely one up on me on that one. A 98 best buddy, but we haven't yet evolved because we are waiting for that community day. Citadel. From PvP, that is awesome. That is a very, very good PvP reward. Pack rats of all form, Watchdog, appearing on the daily. I haven't seen any glaring birds on the daily for a fair few weeks now, so hopefully we get one of those today. Got around about 30 minutes left of our daily instance, with, of course, using that roar of time. Let's clear out this storage somewhat. Been a good month, haven't seen any glaring birds. I would say it's a bad month. I would love to see some glaring birds. I still need a shiny glaring bird. Now, I did obtain this the other day, which I'm not going to count towards my yearly goal of trying to get a glaring bird because I want to try and catch one by myself. But this got traded to me the other day. It's a 96 IV shiny Galarian Articuno. Somebody used a lucky trinket on me and give me a spare Articuno, which they had. Yep, that's right, a spare one. They already had one. They managed to get another. And this person also has already got a Moltres and Zapdos as well. So we completed the set and then ended up with a spare Articuno just to rub it in. But they were good enough to give me that spare Articuno. So very, very nice. And of course, it went to a decent IV as well, so I'm not complaining about that at all. But yeah, it's crazy to think that some people have a set of these Galarian birds already complete. And I'm sat here or walking here with only one in my collection now, and that was traded to me. So I haven't even caught one myself, so very disappointed on that. Yeah, exactly. I think the person who was willing to trade to me, they were actually starting the game pretty late, so they actually wanted a armored Mewtwo in exchange for a Galarian shiny bird, which I was quite happy to do. I've got a couple of armored Mewtwo still left over from when they came around. If I knew how rare the armored Mewtwo was going to be, I would have saved all of them that I managed to do back in the day, but annoyingly, I only kept around about 5 or 6. I'm now down to the last 3 of those. Well, I was quite happy to change a armored Mewtwo for a shiny Galarian bird. Thought it was quite a fair trade to do. Hundo, no shiny. Of course, can be shiny because of its mega being released. 1 in 128 odds for that. Now, another good thing that I did find out over the weekend on the community day for Coco Community Day was, of course, the community day research has changed. The amount of stages to research has changed, and the amount of encounters you get as well has changed. But one thing I also noticed is that they did actually make the evolutions that you encounter during that research shiny available. So you can actually get a shiny Skelurage or Croconaw, is it? The middle form. You can actually get those shiny. So it's very, very cool to be able to see those. I don't think in the past you could get those shiny, but you can actually get those on the new Community Day research, which I thought was pretty cool. Knocking these excellent throws out pretty easily on these wild spawns. Hoothoot should be another easier sort of one. I'm lining myself up to fail here, but there you go. 10k egg, shiny Charcadet, incoming. No, Carbink. Not very good Carbink either. I think around about 830 is a good one, so that is not a good one at all. Let's put in another 10k. This one probably from the Adventure Sync egg, so I don't know if this will have Charcadet in. We can have a look. Now 8 minutes until the Max Monday starts. So we'll head down to where there's a few more max power spots, should I say. Always keep calling them power stops, but we're power spots. That's with Pokestops. And then power spots. Always get confused. Come on, excellent throw. No, Fungus is not playing ball. Lickitung, very much a perma boosted shiny. If you've not managed to get a shiny Lickitung yet, then you're probably the most unluckiest person in the world, because every other one seems to be shiny. I'm surprised that one isn't shiny the second time we've checked it, to be honest. It's shiny that often, I thought it might have changed. Ponyta, always a nice, excellent throw. Annoyingly, there we go, that incense spawn finally disappeared, so we could get the Smoliv, but we've made a mess of a throw, so we didn't even get an excellent throw on the Smoliv. Mankey. So again, we will be live again tomorrow. Spotlight Hour is tomorrow. Now, Spotlight Hour, annoyingly, is Roselia. Now, it doesn't feel long ago when we had Roselia as a Spotlight Hour, perhaps around about 6 weeks ago, would we say? 6 to 8 weeks ago. It was definitely this year sometime, perhaps in January. Or it could have been months ago, I don't know, but it doesn't feel long ago when we had Spotlight Hour, Roselia. But it is back around again already. So we definitely want to try and give shiny Roselia away for some reason. But also the bonus tomorrow is 2 times Evolution XP. So we will be live tomorrow. We will be walking around collecting Roselias, but we won't be going full ball towards the Roselias. We did manage to get a shiny the last time they came round on a Spotlight Hour. We'll catch a few, don't get me wrong, but we will be putting a lucky egg on and saving a lot of things that we're catching today and tomorrow for that 2 times Evolution XP. So it's a good chance to get involved in the comments tomorrow and just really chat about the upcoming events on Pokemon Go in the comments while we sit there and evolve loads of things tomorrow. So make sure to tune in tomorrow and get involved in the comments. It is a boring live stream if nobody comments, so make sure to get involved tomorrow. Fennekin. $420 Pack Rat. So let's just check the friendships and see if we've got any more triggering today. So have we got any more great friends going today? Unfortunately not. Any ultra friends? Let's quickly scroll down. I know we haven't got any best, so let's just scroll down to ultra and see if any of those are going today while we've got this lucky egg on and while the spawns have dried up somewhat. So we've got a couple which are close, but unfortunately I don't think any actually go today. 2 days away from that one. And that one is One Day, so we'll be able to do that one tomorrow. Let's just rename him One Day so we know for tomorrow. Froakie on the daily incense. Now 3 minutes until, of course, the Max Monday starts here. You can see a couple of Dynamax down there, so we'll head down towards that way. And there is a couple more there. So we can do at least 4, which is probably our 3 max particles, to be honest. Dynamax Drillbur does only cost 250 max particles, which is very, very good news for us today. It's probably just as useful, if not more useful, than Dynamax Machop. And of course, Gigantamax Excadrill doesn't exist. So whereas Dynamax Machop has a Gigantamax equivalent, Gigantamax Machamp, which is going to get released very, very soon. It's going to be released this season on Pokemon GO. Dynamax Drillbur does not have that comparison. So it is very, very good news for anybody wanting to get a decent Dynamax Drillbur. Definitely worth hunting for. They are regularly used as tanks in a lot of Gigantamax and Dynamax battles. You can use them as a tank to build up energy and then switch into your main attacker. Or if it is Dynamax Raikou, which is of course this weekend, then you can use it as a tank and also as your attacker. So my Dynamax Raikou squad will consist of all Dynamax Excadrills. So that is what I'm going to be using against Dynamax Raikou. But I will be doing a video later this week about Dynamax Raikou. But it is a very, very straightforward lineup. 3 Dynamax Excadrills is your best bet. But we will also have a look at other counters you can use if you don't manage to get those Excadrills before the weekend. A nice, excellent throw on the Zigzagoon. Fletchling being a little bit more difficult to catch while we're walking. So 6 PM, and as you can see, Dynamax Max Monday has started. Drillburs have arrived, so let's head down to these Drillburs down here and get a few of these completed. He's very, very cool Pokemon. It is definitely up there in my top 10, potentially top 5 Pokemon of all time. Excadrill, just with its very cool looks. It's very cool shiny as well, as a very, very nice shiny. And of course, its usefulness as well. So it's definitely up there with the likes of Rampardos, for example, another Pokemon which is extremely useful and has a very, very nice shiny alternative. And a generally very, very nice Pokemon anyway. So up there alongside Cranidos for me, Drillbur. And probably would fit into the Hundo Legendary category. Of course, that is a category for Pokemon which aren't classed as legendaries, but probably could do the same amount of damage output as some, if not beat legendaries in terms of damage output. Excadrill and Rampardos I would definitely put in that category. Excellent throw on the Magikarp. Not an easy thing to do that, but we managed it. Excellent throw on the score bunny as well. Knocking these excellent throws out. Missed it on the Mankey though, but luckily enough it didn't catch. There we go, that time around, and it did catch. Rufflet on the daily incense. We have coming up to 15 minutes left on our daily incense. That roar of time just about to finish in the next 20 seconds or so. And then we'll be into our normal incense time of 15 minutes. Corefish. Some toddle off the daily. Now heading down to these drillburs, like we mentioned before, 586 CP is the CP we need for the Hundo. So let's see if we can get anywhere near that today on this Max Monday. But doing 4 today should help us with the Raikou special research. It should see us over that 5 Dynamax needed for that. Slowpoke. Normally an easy excellent throw. Really messed up on that one. Normal. What's my best Pokemon in terms of CP or something that I use the most? To be honest, it's probably the same at the moment because, of course, White Kyurem came out and we have a Hundo White Kyurem, which we've level 50'd. 5,206 CP, a crazy CP for a Pokemon. And it is very, very useful, that. Very good against the likes of Zapdos, which is currently about on Legendary Raids. My favourite Pokemon of all time is, you've probably guessed from my YouTube logo and everything on my YouTube page, is Gengar. So Gengar is by far my most favourite Pokemon. Very, very cool Pokemon. I've loved it ever since back in the day, Pokemon Yellow on Game Boy. Starting up the game and seeing Gengar against Nidorino on the load up. Very, very classic. So we'll catch these and then we'll do this Dynamax Drillbur. Level 1, so it's really easy to take down. And like I mentioned before, this will be one of the top counters to use. Its evolution, Excadrill, will be one of the top counters to use against Raikou. So, well, it will be number 1 against Raikou. As mentioned, I'll be running a team of Dynamax Excadrill, Dynamax Excadrill, and Dynamax Excadrill. So 3 Dynamax Excadrills against Raikou this weekend. That is going to be my team. And let's see if we can get anywhere near that 586 CP for the Hundo. Now, the good thing with these Dynamax is that you can't actually get weather boosted versions. They are just the same CP no matter what the weather. So no weather boost is available like a raid or a wild spawn. With these, it is just a flat CP. So you don't have to worry about remembering 2 different CPs. Just 586 is the CP to remember. Now, unfortunately, when you do defeat these, you can't watch it count down like you can with a raid until you get to that CP. You don't know what the CP is until you actually go to the encounter. So let's just race through this. We have got a lucky egg on, so we will get an additional 5,000 XP, so 10,000 in total. No shiny, 739, so sorry, 786, not 586. That's me not remembering properly. But 786 is a Hundo. 739 not very good at all. Way off for Hundo. Let's just double check. And as you can see, nearly the floor. So 10, 10, 10 is the lowest you can get on these. 11, 10, 11 there. So not very good at all. You know what yeah, exactly. I do know what a CP of a Hundo is, if I remember right. First number anyway. I remember the last two. I thought it was 586, but it is 786. So again, we'll jump into this next one. We have already claimed all of our free particles today. We have 1,120, meaning we can do 4 for free, which is good because there's 2 here and there's 2 as we head back up the road. But again, going in with our shiny 96 IV Gigantamax Blast from the first time that Blastoise came around. That weekend where it was only about 4 or 5 weeks after we released the Dynamax function on the game that we then introduced Gigantamax, and everybody really struggled with the Gigantamax at the start as the first time around. Obviously, people hadn't built squads up and stuff like that. So even in our community, people with 20 and nearly 30 people were really struggling to take down Blastoise. Of course, Blastoise is the bulkiest one out of the 3, Charizard being the easiest. But with Charizard, we had to have the right moveset and defeat it with around about 17 or 18 people. First time around. The second time around, we could defeat it with around about 8 people. So completely different if you have the right team built up. 750 CP, getting close to that 786, but unfortunately not it, and it's not shiny. So the shiny rate on these, people do say the full odds are 1 in 512. I'm not convinced with that. I do believe around about 1 in 128. That would make more sense on these. I don't think they're perma boosted to 1 in 64. Well, I would say 1 in 128 seems more reasonable as a shiny rate for these. Now we'll just catch the spawns around here as we head out, and we'll head up to the others. We nerfed the Gigant. Yeah, so the Gigantamax, in terms of how hard we were from the first weekend, they did actually do an announcement saying that we've took the feedback into account and that we've actually reduced how hard we're going to be. Now, whether we actually did that or whether people just had counters or whether it was a mixture of both, it of course helped contribute. Now, the next Gigantamax after the starters came around was of course Gengar. Very, very happy with that. And that was a lot easier to do. There was a noticeable difference being able to do Gengar compared to the starters. But I don't know if that's a fair comparison because Gengar is always dead glassy anyway. So perhaps it's not the best thing to compare it to. But we have got substantial improvement over the last few months since the first time around we came. And that meant that we could do a lot more this weekend instead of struggling through those. But yeah, I think the combination of the nerf and people having the better counters did work in both of our favours. And you could probably take down Charizard with as little as 4 or 5 people if you use mushrooms. We did it with 8, and probably 3 of those weren't running the best counters you could run. A couple of those were lower level trainers, so they've only just started doing the Dynamax function. So there was quite a few people going in with the likes of Drizzle, of course, the evolved form of Sobble, but not Inteleon, so not even the highest evolved form. So Drizzle was being used on one of them, and yet we still managed to do it with 8 people. So you could probably do it with a lot less people if you had even better counters than those. Of course, there was about 4 or 5 others that had really good counters. So yeah, definitely a counter need to be mentioned. Yeah, exactly. The low-level players, I've had people message me because I'm a community ambassador in my local community. Some low-level players, one of them messaged me over the weekend and said, should I bother coming out because I haven't really got the counters? I said, yeah, of course, come out, because if you're there and your Pokemon die within a minute, then at least you can cheer, because the cheering really does help fill up a max meter. It's one of the most useful ways that when you do faint out, then you can actually still contribute. Unlike a raid, you can actually still contribute to the battle. So it's definitely something that was really, really good of them to introduce. It meant that those low-level players could still feel useful, really, in the battle, even though their Pokemon fainted out dead early on. So really, really helpful. And the more people cheering means the max meter charges up quicker, which means you can get to Gigantamax and Dynamax quicker, which means, of course, you can do more damage. So definitely worth coming to those Gigantamax meetups or Dynamax meetups, even if you are a lower level, because you will help no matter what. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what's really good about the feature. They've obviously thought about it and thought, we're going to make these really hard. We're going to make it so that communities have to do them in big numbers to try and build community relationships, which is dead good. But also, how are lower level trainers going to help the higher levels? And that's, of course, through cheering. So really, really good function, or feature, should I say, that we've managed to do, in a really good way of doing it. Excellent throw on the Noibat. So what do people expect to have a community day coming up? Of course, we had for Coco Community Day this last weekend. I do expect Quaxley Community Day probably around about May time. Then, of course, we'll have June, which will be Jangamo. So what do you reckon is going to be April's Community Day? Do you reckon we're going to get Quaxley early, or do you reckon we're going to have another Pokemon and then it's going to be Quaxley in May? Or could it be Quaxley later on the year? Could Quaxley be like September time? We'll have to wait and see. But what are people's guess for the next Community Day? Brookish on the Incense. Obviously a Pokemon which is going to be released shiny very soon in the Festival of Colours event. We didn't catch it. Another excellent throw. Hopefully we caught it at time. We did. Now, of course, later this month, we have got another Community Day in March, and that is a classic Community Day, and that features Totodile. So Totodile is going to have a Community Day. Yeah, that's a fair comment. They do always amaze us. And especially with the XP grind adventure that I'm on, I'm mainly not really looking at the Pokemon, I'm mainly looking at seeing what bonuses there is and see if there's anything XP related. That is definitely where my head's at with these events recently, is that no matter what Pokemon it is, I'll go out, I'll be catching loads and hoping for events with XP bonus, so that obviously I can do more XP with the same amount of catches. So that is definitely where my head's at right now. Messed up there on the excellent throw. The only thing with XP grinding is, of course, you do really wind yourself up after a while about how many excellent throws you're missing. I go through stages where I'm hitting loads of excellent throws, and then I'll go through stages where I can't hit one to save my life, and annoyingly that just seems to wind me up even more, because I know I can hit them on certain Pokemon. It's just that when I don't, it really annoys me. But we're getting there tonight. We've not had too many failures on the excellent throws. We've been pretty decent tonight. That one was very much a failure, but Hoppet does like to fly up, which is a little bit annoying. And of course, LGM is playing a little bit hard to get as well. Well, we've got a couple more Excadrills just up ahead. Let's get these spun here. Now, there is a showcase here, so we're going to add on this. And it's Charcadet. Let's enter into that and see how we get on. Rank 1. So, I believe we are rank 1 on all of these Charcadets now. We're on 3 already. And we are rank 1 on all of them. $41 Pokemon caught on a daily incense. Unfortunately, no glaring birds spawned. And no shinies to report of. Yeah, it's so annoying. It is so annoying. I actually look at my Pokeballs now. Tiny slices. I actually look at my Pokeballs now and think, right, I've got 900 Pokeballs. That's 900,000 XP if I'd hit an excellent on each one and it stays in. That's how I sort of look at my Pokeballs now. Is I don't see them as Pokeballs. I see each one as a potential 1,000 XP. It's crazy, but that is how my thought process has changed over these last few months since setting that ridiculous goal at the start of the year to try and hit it 1 billion XP by the end of the year. Would be a fair achievement to do that. Well, an increase of 460 million XP in a year. That's almost the entire amount of XP that I had before this year, again, but only in 1 year. That is an obscene amount of XP for me. I know a lot of people do that anyway in a year, but for me to start this year with 540 million XP, that's what I've managed to gain over playing since 2016, and to achieve that all again but just in 1 year means a vast change in gameplay. But we're ahead of the target, so if you didn't tune in on the progress update at the start of March, we are actually ahead of target, and of course the Go Tour really helped with that. So we will be doing another progress video at the end of March, start of April, and you'll be able to see how our yearly progress or how our monthly progress is towards that yearly goal of our XP. So the third Drillbur of the evening. Again, using Gigantamax Blastoise. Definitely easy to do, and we can hopefully get a Hydro Cannon off. Unfortunately, that doesn't take it out. It's got a smallest amount of health left, which means we do have to Gigantamax, but we're not upset about that. Gigantamax Blastoise is a very cool Gigantamax animation. It's a tiny amount of health that Drillbur's got left. This Drillbur is obviously made of hard stuff. If you can survive a Hydro Cannon from Blastoise. But it didn't do when we Gigantamaxed. 758. So we have got slightly better on the IVs. Again, we had 736 the first time round, 750 the second time round, 758 the third time round. So we have the other one directly where we are as well. We've got two quite close together here. So we will jump in the fourth and final one of the evening, and then we'll also just have a look and see how we are with Excadrills from the past. So excellent throw on a Trapinch. Can we get an excellent throw on this Grumpig? Few of Grumpigs are about recently. Unfortunately missed out on the excellent throw. Let's head into this Dynamax Drillbur again, picking Blastoise. It's obviously not taken much damage from the previous Excadrills that it's done. Or Drillbur, should I say. And then we've probably got around about 10 minutes left on our lucky egg, and then we will finish the live stream for today. But if you've enjoyed the live stream today and you are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. It's the only way we're going to make the channel bigger, and if a channel's bigger, then the more time I can spend and allocate to making it better for you to watch as well. So it's all about teamwork. Make the channel bigger, and the channel will be better for you in the future. I have no doubt. Gigantamax Blastoise, one hit the Dynamax Drillbur, and there we go. The fourth and final Dynamax Drillbur of tonight's Max Monday that we're going to be doing. Is it a shiny one? Would be very, very cool to get our first shiny on a live stream on a Max Monday. No shiny, 750, so the same as the second Drillbur. So again, not very good on the IVs, I wouldn't expect. But let's have a look at our Drillburs and our Excadrills, our Dynamax ones that is, and see how these compare to those. So let's first, we can claim that 300 particles, but we're not going to. We're going to save those particles, like we mentioned before, for the Dynamax Raikou event towards the end of this week. Now, let's have a look and see Dynamax and Drillbur. And of course, we have got 3 really good ones that are already powered up to level 50. They're the 3 that we're probably going to be using for Dynamax Raikou towards the end of this week. But we have a Hundo Dynamax Drillbur, which we actually got best buddies with on Christmas Day last year. And then we had another Hundo Excadrill, which we got traded to us. It was a random trade that went lucky, and it went to a Hundo. So 2 Hundo Dynamax Excadrills and a 96 with attack that we've also got powered up to level 50. The other Drillburs that we've got in our collection, 779, 786 is at Hundo CP, but 779 not far off, 93. Then we had a 96, again, a lucky one, random trade, and then another 96, another 96, another 96. We've got quite a lot of 96s, so decent amount of Drillburs all round. And we have got a shiny one as well. So if we go down here, you can see one's marked up as a lucky trade. Dynamax Shiny Drillbur. Very, very nice shiny Dynamax there. But unfortunately, terrible IVs. Definitely one to lucky trade somebody in the future. So we are set for Raikou. We are very much set for Raikou with those 3 Drillburs. 2 Hundos, 196, all maxed out to level 50. And if we do just check their movesets, in fact, we'll probably be able to see if we have got them powered up. So the first Hundo, our lucky Hundo, we have got the max move. We've got level 1 max guard and level 2 max spirit. The other one, we have max move, max spirit, and level 1 max guard. The other 96, we have level 1 quake, level 1 spirit, and max guard. No max guard. So that's probably one we could work on throughout the course this week on our 3 particles, getting ready for that Dynamax Raikou. So hopefully I'll be a good contributor no matter whose team I'm on for Dynamax Raikou a weekend with that team. But we are very much prepared for Raikou. Terrible throw on a tie runt again. Best is a 98 Drillbur. That's a very nice Drillbur, a 98. Hopefully it's got attack. Do I trade? I do trade, obviously locally. I don't do anything like spoofing or anything. I'm a clean player, always have been, always will be. Yeah, exactly. You need to be within 100 meters to trade. So I only trade locally. It is very, very nice being a clean player because all your stats and your profile do not lie. So I've actually walked that amount of distance. I've actually caught that amount of Pokemon and visited that amount of stops in person. all contributing to that XP total that we see there. Very, very nice amount of XP. And in terms of XP, we have 5 minutes left on our lucky egg, which hopefully should see that XP just build up a bit more with all these excellent throws. Yeah, exactly. Playing clean makes you feel clean. See if we can get a few more excellent throws before we finish the live stream for tonight. And again, just a reminder, we will be live again tomorrow, similar time tomorrow, because of course tomorrow is Spotlight Hour. It is Roselia Spotlight Hour, 2 times Evolution XP as well during the hour, meaning we will be saving a lot of things from today to evolve during that hour. Annoyingly, Roselia isn't a good one to be saving to evolve during the hour, because of course you do need an item to evolve it each time into Rose Raid. So we won't be saving any Roselias to evolve, but we will be saving a lot of Pokemon that we find today and also tomorrow ready to evolve for that Spotlight Hour. So very much a different sort of Spotlight Hour tomorrow. We'll still be walking around, still be doing some catches, but we'll be taking a few more breaks than normal and evolving during those breaks. So make sure to tune in tomorrow, get involved in the comments, else I'm just going to be sat there evolving stuff on a live stream with nobody actually speaking to me. So definitely get involved in the comments tomorrow. Is this a key? It isn't. It's a rock and roll. I do my best. Yeah, defo. I can always rely on you, Rev. Now, what is that 1-star raid across there? Is that a teacup? No, it isn't. So, of course, Sinisty is available on raids. Annoyingly, that's a Gothafita. Still not yet got a antique form, Sinisty. All of mine have been the phony form. Now, the odds of the antique are probably quite high odds. Probably low odds, should I say. So they're not very often, they're not very common at all. We're probably about 1 in 64, 1 in 128 just to get that antique form. Now, you'll know it's the antique form because instead of the phony form that takes 50 candy to evolve, the antique form takes 400. So 400 candy compared to 50. That's how you'll know straight away whether you've got it. And also when you appraise it, the little text at the bottom will say if it's a phony or an antique form. And there is a slight different coloration on it as well, but that's very, very hard to see. Now, I did also ask yesterday on one of the videos I posted up on my YouTube channel, and I don't think anybody's commented yet, but I will ask on this live stream. Skelurage, of course, for Coco was a featured Community Day Pokemon on Saturday. This Hundo Skelurage, which I had in my storage before, very, very nice Hundo. It is a Best Buddy. Where is the Best Buddy badge on Skelurage? Because I cannot find it anywhere. I have searched around Skelurage and I cannot find it anywhere. If anybody knows where the Best Buddy badge is, if anybody can Google it and have a look, let me know in the comments down below, either on this video or on the video I posted yesterday. Let me know, because I cannot find it anywhere. I bet it's underneath. It probably is. It's probably underneath its foot or something silly. Or underneath its fire that's surrounding its head or something. I don't know where it is, but I cannot find it. I even thought I might have had the Best Buddy badge feature turned off. That's how bad it got. Ended up going to my settings and seeing if I got it turned on. Now, I've just hatched a Bagon. Unfortunately, no good. But 21 seconds left on the daily. Sorry, on the lucky egg. Three, two, one, and we are done with the lucky egg. So let's have a quick look and see how much XP we've earned so far today. We've earned 900,000 XP today. We started this morning on just over 659. So 900,000 XP in the course of a day is not too bad going, being that we've been at work most of the day. So that is decent going. So I'm quite happy with that. We will put on some of these eggs as well. Yeah, not bad. 900,000 XP. I'm trying to get around about 1.5 million XP per day. Tomorrow is going to be a huge help towards that, because of course we should be able to get around about 800,000 XP. 800 million, that would be amazing. 800,000 XP during the spotlight hour when we sit there and evolve loads of things. So I'm hoping to get at least 200 things to evolve tomorrow and race through those in the hour, so that we can get 800,000 XP just off Roselia Spotlight Hour. So that is definitely going to be a plan tomorrow. But that has been me live stream today. Thanks very much for everybody who's tuned in, regulars, newcomers. Thanks very much for everybody who's commented down below. I really do appreciate you all joining me on this Monday evening. Make sure to tune in again tomorrow, Roselia Spotlight Hour tomorrow. So make sure to tune in for that. Again, similar time as today. Make sure to like and subscribe on the channel. Turn on the notification bell so you know when we go live. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.